What's up, y'all? Let's talk about Get Out, the movie Get Out. Let me say real quick, I noticed that the label on this jacket was showing up real strong. I'm definitely not trying to advertise for Armani Exchange, especially without getting paid. I had a homie who worked at Armani Exchange, and we were getting crazy deals. Like, we would go in when it was on sale, and then their discount would kick in, and it was like cheaper than Ross or Marshall's. So I don't want to be contributing to anybody wasting their money on Money Exchange. Let me just say that. So anyway, Get Out. And there will be spoilers, obviously. So if you haven't seen it yet and you don't want it to be spoiled, then don't watch this, or watch it after you see the movie. So let's talk about it as a movie first. I have notes. I hope that's not going to be too distracting, but I have a bunch of notes. I took notes while I was watching the movie. As a movie, I thought it was excellent. The pace was excellent. The acting was excellent. The cinematography I thought was excellent. The score was excellent. It was almost Hitchcock to me, but not, it was like more subtle. So the score and the cinematography, it was almost like Hitchcock-esque, but like in a subtle way, you know what I mean? And it didn't have like the Bernard Herrmann themes like that Busta Rhymes used, like nothing like that really stood out, but very good score. Like it worked towards the movies, and it wasn't distracting. So as a movie, high quality. Let's talk about the symbolism. So this is kind of like this video will kind of be like more for the people who've already seen it and kind of want to think about it more. Some of the symbolism in the movie. So to me, the dad that they go to see, he represents the state to me. He's like kind of overseeing the whole operation, and he kind of acts like everything is cool, but he's doing some dirty stuff, some evil stuff. So he's the state to me. The son is obviously police or military, but definitely police. He's into MMA, and he's kind of like the enforcement arm. He's, obsessed with violence. The daughter to me represents pop culture, and also a racist liberal yuppie whose racism is like very well concealed. And then the mom to me represents education or the media. She's the master of mind control. Okay, so let's talk about the protagonist. I thought the protagonist was excellent. Excellent writing, because he's very well balanced. He's not a hood guy, but he's not like complete Poindexter guy either. He's still, he's still fist bumping. He's not completely out of touch with his culture. He's still happy to see another brother at the party. Very well balanced, you know what I mean? He's nervous that, the parents might be racist, you know what I mean? So but he's not like the overly woke guy either. So he's very like in the middle, which makes him like a perfect protagonist. You're definitely rooting for this guy. Let's talk about his friend. So his friend is like the woke guy, the conscious community guy. He even has the Malcolm X glasses. I think they're called brow trim glasses that Malcolm X made popular. He's wearing those glasses in the movie. So he represents like the conscious guy. And it's interesting to me, super interesting, because when he goes in to talk to the detective or whatever and try and tell her what's going on, she's laughing at him. And it's a big joke. And I thought that was like amazing symbolism, because I see that all the time. I see people make light of knowledge and information that they don't understand. Somebody will try to wake them up, put them on to something new, and they'll be like, oh, that's the woke guy. It's a big joke, you know what I mean? So I thought that was awesome to put that in. And just in general, I thought the movie had a lot of that symbolism where it wasn't super obvious, but it wasn't super, opaque and hard to figure out. All right, so Chris and Rose. So when they're at the river, Rose has a red and white striped sweater, and Chris has a blue collared shirt, or like a blue denim shirt, which is subtle, but it's not that subtle. Which is like I feel like it's the perfect level of symbolism. And so that's obviously a note to the United States and kind of the evil stuff that goes on beneath the surface, even using medical technology sometimes. I feel like a lot of people think Get Out is about getting out the house, or getting out of these types of relationships, but I think what get out means is, or what it at least means to me, is get out of the sunken place. A place of subservience and hypnotism. And I think a lot of people are still there, like in real life. I think this is a very important commentary on people's minds, you know what I mean? Especially original people in North America. Like, I think this movie is a big deal. And I think a lot of people aren't living up to their potential because they're in the sunken place. They are under hypnotism. And it's from education, it's from the media, it's all around. Rose, I think, also represents pop culture. You know what I mean? That pop culture where it seems like, oh, it's all good, we're good, G, right? We're good, but like really not. Like really, pop culture is a lot of times serving the military, industrial, or the school to prison pipeline, all that stuff, you know what I mean? But just very covert, very sneaky, and acting like it's cool with you. A lot of times it's not cool with you, especially original people in North America. Okay, so let's talk about Chris's friend that saves him, the TSA guy, the woke guy, the Malcolm X glasses guy. So he figures it out. He's the guy who knows, he studies conspiracy theories or whatever. He's like the tinfoil hat guy, but actually he's the only guy who really knows what's going on. And I thought it was interesting that he had to do the work of saving his friend himself. It wasn't enough for him to know what was going on. He had to get busy himself, and he had to come in and save the day. And I thought that was interesting because it means absolutely nothing if it's just knowledge without action. Also thought it was interesting the concept of the domestic help who were obviously under hypnotism and had gone through the surgery within the house, because under their hypnotism they were working so hard to try and save the operation, to save the plantation. And Malcolm X actually talked about that, the field slave versus the house slave, where the house slave was very much interested in maintaining it almost as much as the colonist, as the slave master. It was so important to them that this thing was sustained. Applied to the big picture, I see that a lot, you know what I mean? I see original folks who assist colonialism, or whatever you want to call it, the problems that have come from colonialism and European governments in North America. So we see that, you know what I mean? We see these very dangerous people who might look, originally they might, be melanated and have curly hair, but they're working against people who are melanated and have curly hair. So we see that. And he woke up the brother. I thought it was interesting. He woke up the brother at the end, and the brother banged himself out. He's like, there's no coming back from this. He went through the surgery. It was kind of a wrap. So I thought it was interesting, like the emphasis on mind, and mind really being the key to what level of being you attain. You know what I mean? Whether you're subservient to someone else's system or whether you're creating something for yourself. And I think that's what the sunken place really is maintaining a people at a low level using mind control. And I think that's prevalent. Because it's the mind that allows people to create defense, create wealth, to become stronger, to become healthier, to travel, to create inventions. All those things are based on the mind, you know what I mean? So if people can control the mind, they have the being pretty much, They have the being. So I thought it was really interesting in that way, to see it played out in an allegory like that. Okay, let's talk about lessons from the movie. So, obviously the big lesson is protect your mind. Make sure that your mind is your own and that you are not being controlled into a place of subservience. That's like the huge lesson, I think. But also, just some tactical lessons in the movie. When you're going to a place, an unknown place, it's wise to bring some people with you. So, all right, for example, like in this movie, he's going to meet this girl's parents. He could have brought his parents. You know what I mean? All right, like, you know, you're going to an unknown place where there aren't people like you, there aren't people from your lineage there. If you're going to do that, then how about you bring some delegates? How about you bring your mom and dad or whoever? You know what I mean? Some people along with you. That's important. I've had some situations where I've been, anyway, the brother in the beginning, yeah, you need to have your head on a swivel, but also carry something. You know, obviously be mindful of the policies where you live, but carry something if that makes sense for you. A weapon, you know what I mean? And what weapon you choose to carry will depend on you and how you're going to interface and how you're going to be influenced by the policies in the area where you are, but become more of a man and kind of always be on guard. I feel like, you know, a lot of men, they feel like they don't have to be on guard. And I think, you know, that's not natural. I think that the natural man, the real man, is always on guard, and he loves it. It's not a burden. He loves being on guard. So I think there's something to that. You know, whether you're the head of a household or not, I think that I would like to see that culture of men, head on a swivel, always being on guard from, you know, the moment you wake up until, and even, you know, even being a light sleeper somewhat. But yeah, just being on guard, you know what I mean? And being able to defend yourself. Hand-to-hand combat. Like he was saying, you know, MMA was too violent for him. Yeah, I don't really agree with that. You know what I mean? Know something, you know what I mean? You don't have to know MMA necessarily, but, you know, learn how to box. Learn how to handle yourself. I would like to see that come back into the culture of manhood. Come back strong, you know, especially for, you know, my folks, you know what I mean? You know, not everybody is rooting for you, so learn how to handle yourself. You know what I mean? Very simple. So head on a swivel, get out of the sunken place, and, the conscious guy. Yeah, all the conscious people, like, it's cool to wake people up and stuff, but you're gonna have to do the work. I just did a video called You Have to Do the Work. Yeah, you're gonna have to, sometimes you're gonna have to go save the day yourself. It's not enough to just wake people up. You have to actively change the world. So I hope I said some good things about the movie. Go see it. It's pretty good. I saw it on they have a deal where it's like $6 to see it. So I got the hook up. Yeah, obviously be aware of the policies in the area where you live, but you know, be on guard and protect yourself. Tote something if you can, if it makes sense for you. But you know, be responsible. Be on guard. So yeah, Peel, good work, Peel, keep them coming.